Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Abba, for this day that you have given us. As we start this class, I just pray that you give us the knowledge and the wisdom to just learn the just learn and to learn and to praise. Um just let whatever we learn be stuck in our brains and just fill our hearts today and let this just let this class go smoothly in Yeshua's name. Amen.
Amen. Shalom, shalom, Teresa. It's good to see you. Blessings.
Blessings, blessings. Good to be seen.
Yay. Okay. So we had a really nice dance camp. We're on the, Pacific Northwest. And so James and his wife and another friend named Laura, who I've known for a long time, hosted us. And there was a huge group of people, and it was just very sweet. And so I wanted to ask you, James, being now in this class, what did as looking at it, because I'm sure you were looking at it as a instructor, teacher, leader. What was your, you know, I guess, take, or did you learn anything, or what do you think?
I did, yeah. So I mean, I've been through a lot of public presentations of Israeli dance and gotten to experience it before, but having that fresh viewpoint that I did yesterday and being able to watch you work with the crowd and talk to the different people and kind of assess the different skill levels and everything. Um, what I was seeing happening was something I hadn't perceived before, which is how as you teach one or two or three steps and it's little bite-sized pieces, it all builds up so that by the time you reach the end, you're doing a full 4 minute song with the entire worship from start to finish, and everybody's on board. And it was really fluid, and just kind of seeing the layers of it build. Like I said, I'd experienced it before, but I hadn't perceived how it worked in that sense. So I was kind of analyzing the whole time to see how that came together. And then I appreciated that you broke it up into two circles and had all of the instructors, like the esteemed people who'd been doing it for a long time, come to the middle. That gave, a little bit of honor, but also it made it easy to, be able to tell exactly who the most experienced people whose feet we could be watching would be, and that sort of thing too.
Yeah. So what? Oh, hold on a minute. Let me undo you. There we go. Part of that, so that invitation went something like this. There was a huge group of people, and there were clearly people that, had less experience with steps. And so what I said is everybody who feels like they know your basic steps, your Mayams, your Cherkasiyas, your Yemenites. And there was a leader there who I've only heard of for like 30 years. And you might know her, Bonnie Dolly. Maybe not, Teresa. I don't know. But I've just, I've met a lot of people who would say things like, oh, Bonnie Dolly was my instructor. Bonnie Dolly, so I thought I met her 10 years ago, maybe just because, Ralph said we did at a conference. So anyway, so she showed up. And so, I did what I preach, which is basically, I introduced her and, told her, that I had, so happy that she was there and welcomed her and gave her that, tried to give her, to honor her in a ways. But as far as having people come into the center, what that does is it enables those who are newer and maybe aren't sure of the steps or are thrown off by trying to follow the steps across the circle, because it's mirroring it. It allowed those people to have like a, watching from the back type of situation. And it worked very nicely, and honestly, these past dance camps since we've been here, I've been making mistakes. And so like I said, I usually, or maybe I don't know if I said it, but usually when I start a dance camp, I always say I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. So if I do, or, just, go easy on me and forgive me. And what that, and really too, what I'm saying. So if you make mistakes, you're in really good company. Just trying to kind of break the ice. And, some people are very insecure in that way. Maybe they think that you're just watching them. And they don't want to make a mistake. And so, I clearly led the way with many mistakes. And I want to tell you what partly that is from. Well, I'm working with new dances, and I haven't been dancing, we go out like what we're doing right now. We're out, and then we're out for maybe 3 weeks. So we haven't been out since before the baby was born. And then the baby has been born for like 8 weeks. And so, we might have done a couple of dance camps, but still, just not being prepared as much. So, what I've been doing the last few is just opening my laptop so that way I can pull up notations and all of that, so I can go, because I really love to let people know what we're dancing to. I like to give all the information I can about the dance, like what kind of tempo, what kind of meter, who wrote it, the music, if I didn't choreograph it, who choreographed it, and most importantly, the translation if it's in Hebrew. And I think that's important. That's different in many times than, for instance, a Israeli dance class or even Messianic dance classes. That's what, I think those things are all important. And so, but nonetheless, what I did find out again is, oh, I need to be dancing. Oh, I need to be worshiping the Lord. Oh my goodness. We rented a car, we flew in, rented a car, and have been going, since. And it's just, this is what our element, we're most happy doing this, and so, and most feeling at this point in our lives, this is what God has given us to do. He may give us something else later, but this is what we're doing to follow, his leading. So it was really good. And we've I'm trying to think. Oh, the week is just kind of mooshed in. Oh, I have one other thing. So you might encounter this as well. So and I don't know if I mentioned it to you. I may have. So we shortened our trip a little bit. And it's a good thing. Yeah, the Lord had it. We couldn't really get booked, so we shortened it a few days. But tomorrow night we had something booked in Tacoma, Washington. And it's a place we've been to every year. There's Ralph. We've been to every year, Messianic congregation. And
Hello.
and so we had something booked there. And 2 days before we left, the rabbi's wife called crying. It was like, what's up? And she said, well, Rabbi passed away. And I don't know if I told you this. And so, it was sudden, but he wasn't the most well. So he had passed away. And of course, we just, we love them. We've known them for like a long, long time. And
He loved
so,
the dance.
he loved the dance, and so we just were trying to, minister to the Rebbitzin, the rabbi's wife. And so we said, well, what can we do? We'll go ahead and, cancel this and blah, 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 blah. So it's tomorrow, or was tomorrow. And so I thought, we pulled it on our website. We tried to connect with the people who we knew would be there, just to say, Rabbi passed away, and, just try to be sensitive. But I called her today just to see how she was, because we are going to be kind of going past that way, sort of, we're going to Portland, and we're driving. And so I talk to her and just, talk to her to listen to her to see how she was. And, it's very challenging. It's very hard. She's lost her husband for more than, decades and decades. And anyways, she decided she wants to still do this dance workshop. And it was going to be, we've done this before. It's going to be in their front yard. And we've been in their front yard before. It's very nice, like gardening and all that. And so she said that she wasn't going to be there because she is caring for their grown children who need her. But she said, I feel like we're supposed to do this. And we just said, we're so happy. We think that Rabbi Bob would have wanted this too. We agree with you. And so we go on and do that. So this is something that you may encounter, that that death is a part of our process. We have that hope in Messiah, but we contacted everybody, sent out the information, and she sent it to the congregation, and so everybody
it seemed right because like you said, he loved to dance, and
Yeah.
it just feels right to do it.
Yeah.
It's something joyful,
Yeah.
and we know that we don't need to mourn like the world needs, like the world mourns,
Right.
but we could rejoice.
Yeah. If you haven't done this before, you might be asked to, minister at, a celebration of life, or a funeral. I mean, that's been something that, we've done, and it's kind of one of the people in the last session. I'm not sure if either Teresa and Joanne were in her class, but it was Carol Bertolini, and she was a day person. And Carol, her grandbaby, they knew the grandbaby was going to be born and wouldn't live. And they were all believers, but it was terribly, terribly challenging. And her daughter, the mother, while she was still pregnant, said, Mom, I want you to do a dance. I want you to choreograph a dance in honor, and that you could do. And so it was, she was in a way mortified at first. She was like, I never thought to be dancing during, a death, but it was extremely cathartic. It was a way to process what had went on. And it was very beautiful. So, can you hear, Summer? Are you able to hear? I don't know if Summer, yeah, yeah. Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay. What I want to do, I know we're weeks away from this, but I would like to play one of the final projects that we've had. And I don't think anybody's seen it. And Teresa's done one before and Joanna's done, but I'm going to play a different one. And this is from somebody's in Israel, and she's retaking it, taking it again. She's in the day class. And I just want you to see what it is. So you need to choreograph, and I'll give you directions. I'll attach that. I'm just telling you now and maybe going to play a sample. Okay, there's no right or wrong, and some people have some technology skills, and they can add subtitles, or they can edit, but you don't need that. Okay. It's really a video that will have your instruction and your demonstration of the dance and your, like a short devotion or meditation, a little bit. Okay. All in 10 minutes. If you can do it all in one video, yay. If you have to break it up for like your devotion and your instruction on one and your demonstration on the other, you can do that. But we want to try to keep it as close to 10 minutes as possible. So I want to just go ahead and play one for you, and so you can just see what that is. And just so you get your ideas, kind of thinking about what you're going to choreograph, or what what you want to do. And like I said, it's this is one example of a billion. Okay. So hang on, let me pull it up there. Let me just pull it up for you, and then we'll step into today. So hang on there 1 second. Get that on there. Come on. Hold on there. 1 second. Then I'll pull my camera out in a second. So just hang on there. Hang on 1 second. Oh, come on. Okay, hang on there. Now hers went a little bit over, and if it does, it does, but you want to just have that, hold on a second, be your kind of gauge. Okay, so hang on there for a second. Let me go pull this up. And I'm pulling my camera out and everything.
Song is called Psalm 91. Shalom, everyone. This song is called Psalm 91 by Jonathan Ogden. As implied by the title, it's based on a beautiful chapter from the Psalms. When the Lord gave me the steps to choreograph this dance, it was a few days into Israel's 12-day war with Iran, and a few days before my dad's celebration of life service. In the midst of the sirens, running to the bomb shelter, the loud booms above our heads, and missing my dad, whose favorite chapter was Psalms 91, this song and dance was bringing me so much comfort. But what I didn't know was that during that same time, it would help me through one of the most difficult moments I've ever experienced, the sudden loss of my 21-year-old nephew, Blaze, whom I loved so very much. Doing this dance was one of the only times I felt like I could really move during the grieving process, and it's still helping me today. It's truly been a gift from the Lord. I pray that whoever sees this and even dances it themselves will experience the same comfort that the Lord has brought me through it, and that you will truly feel that you can hide under the shelter of His wings, no matter what you are going through. I dedicate this dance to my precious nephew, Blaze. May his memory be a blessing. This song is in 4/4 time, and this dance has 3 parts. For the entire dance, you will not hold hands with anyone, and this is part 1. So we're going to start out by doing 2 balance steps, starting with your right leg, shifting your weight from the right to the left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do 2 regular mayams heading to the left or clockwise. And on the very last step, we're going to just lift our leg. Let me show you how. Right over left, left to the side, right behind left, left to the side. Repeat that. And then on the last step, you're just going to lift your left leg at the knee. Now you're going to head back the other way. So you're going to do the same steps, only starting with your left leg over your right, heading to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and lift. Those are sometimes referred to as 7-up mayams. Now we are going to continue to head to the left or clockwise. And we're going to do 2 regular steps, just walk, walk, starting with your right leg. And we're going to be doing it along the line of the dance. So 1, 2. From here, you're going to do a left coupe, still along the line of the dance, which means your right is going to go over your left. You're going to let your right arm follow it. You're going to step back on your left, and then you're going to swing, just swing your right leg over to be able to face the center again. So it's going to look, let me take it from the walks. Walk, walk, coupe, 2, 3. And now you're going to do a coupe going to your right. So that means your left leg is going to cross your right, and you're going to let your left arm swing with your left leg. 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to do 2 balance steps to finish off the first part, starting with your right leg. Balance, 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 balance. Let's run through part 1. Okay, starting with the right leg, balance steps. Balance, 2, 3, 4, mind to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lift, mind to the right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lift, walk, walk, coupe, step back, and balance, balance, 3, 4. For part 2, you're going to head to the right, or in a counterclockwise position. You're going to start with your right leg, and you're going to do 4 walks. So right, left, right, left. Next, you're going to do 2 step crosses, starting with your right leg, and you're going to do arm movements to match. You're stepping out with your right, your arms are extended. Cross with your left, your arms cross. Again. Next, you're going to do a 4-count turn to the right, and you're going to move as you do it. Your arms are going to be extended. You're going to do it through your right shoulder. So stepping with your right, 1, 2, 3, and tap with your left. And now you're going to go back the other way. So you're going to turn through your left shoulder, starting with your left foot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll repeat that sequence. So let's run through part 2. Right, 2, 3, 4, step cross, 2, 3, 4, turning to the right, 2, 3, 4, left turn, 2, 3, and 4. For part 3, I love this part so much because this is the part that I really feel that I am dancing cheek to cheek and hand to hand with Yeshua, and I hope that you feel that too if you do this dance. When we come here, you'll be facing the center of the circle. You're going to start with your right leg, and your arms are going to go the upward motion as you travel towards the center. It's a right together, right up on the ball of your right foot. You're going to go backwards and do the same thing, starting with your left foot. Left together, left, and extend your right foot just a little bit. That's going to put you into the position of doing 2 quarter pivot turns to the left through your left shoulder. And your arms are going to be in a praise position, a large W type position. So you're going to step out to the center with your right foot, and you're going to pivot so that you're facing the line of the dance. So it's going to be 1, 2, and you're going to rock. This is a kind of a rocking pivot too. It's a dancing motion. It's like a very soft dance. Step right, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to do it again. Step right, 2, 3, 4, so that you are actually facing the outside of the circle now. And then you're just going to repeat those steps all over again. So it'll be right together, right, up, left together, left, up, quarter pivot turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's run through part 3 together. Facing the center, right together, right and up, left together, left, up, quarter pivot turn, 2, 3, 4, quarter pivot turn, 2, 3, 4. Right together, right and up. Left together, left, up. Quarter pivot turn, 2, 3, 4. Quarter pivot turn, 2, 3, 4.
Will not fear the arrows or the night. As thousands fall to my left and to my right, but I will abide in the safety of your shadow. Under your wings, my heart will find its rest. The wicked fall, and with my eyes I see. But your faithfulness will be a shield to me. 'Cause I have made my dwelling place in you, God, and I'm not afraid, 'cause I am held by you, God. And here in your presence I find my refuge, oh Lord. And here in the secret I hear you whisper to me. Here in your presence I find my refuge, oh Lord. And here in the secret I hear you whisper to me.
Yeah, that's she danced out of that place of loss and hard, and it was beautiful. But she had some editing in there. Her daughter helped her. You don't need that. If you have that, great. I can't do that, but you don't need that. Really, it's just your instruction with like a demonstration meditation type of thing, and then your demonstration of the dance. Okay, so I'll give you directions on that. But Summer, are you here? No, it's Summer. Okay, she was like, maybe she just has really bad connection. She was going to go first as far as teaching, but we'll just go on. I wanted to also say, Estefania, are you there?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Oh, okay, good. Do you feel up to teaching today?
Um, I can't. I'm not feeling too well. Is it okay
No?
if I do it next week?
Sure. Okay, how about Isabel?
Thank you.
Oh, okay, Summer, how are you? Can you teach?
I can give it a shot. I'm not sure how well my connection will be. Like it keeps cutting in and out. So I could set it up and try to see if things move smoothly. But yeah.
Okay, why don't you take a minute? Do you need a minute to do that?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Okay, why don't you do that? We'll have Isabel. You can go first if you feel up to that. You feel up to it?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. Get set up and you can tell us
Okay.
what you're going to teach today.
Let me just move my computer.
And I appreciate everybody who sent some notes. That's great. They were all looked really, really good. So go ahead and continue to do that. That was really nice. Hold on a moment. Okay, so a couple things are happening. First of all, you have so much light coming out of the windows. There you go. Okay. And then the other thing is that you might have to tilt your screen down a bit so we could see your feet.
Trying to hide a little bit of my mess.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, that's good. You step back a little bit further. Yeah. Okay, so the thing is you can probably only come up about 3 inches unless you start a little bit further back.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
And if you need to see a full screen, just hit pin or double click Isabel's screen. And that pin is you hit the 3 dots and then you click on that and it'll say pin.
I might need to do that myself so I can see myself.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think if I'm talking, it's not gonna see myself up. Okay, I'll just
Yeah, you'll be fine. Okay, that's great. Okay.
I'm a little prepared, a little not, but
Okay, well, tell us what you're going to teach us today. So you got
Okay.
to take that, listen, you got to take that centerpiece because you can't even see it on the screen. Move it back, you and the centerpiece. I would move back about 2 more feet if you could do it. I know you're going to be back to yeah. Now, when you go, now make a little circle, make a circle around the bottle. Walk around. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Otherwise, when you get in front of the camera, almost miss your feet. So don't go further than you did. You either have to put your bottle back a little bit. Oh, there you go. Okay, that did it.
Excuse the mess.
All right, there you go.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna do part one of a dance that I choreographed myself to the song. Well, are we still gonna play like?
Yeah. Do you have your music? You have your music?
I do have my music ready.
Okay, so then we'll go ahead and do the whole shebang. First, teach us.
Okay. And it's just gonna be part one of the dance. So it's to the song of Mountain of the Lord by Joshua Aaron. Okay, so the first part, so it starts off with Come Let Us Go Up. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna step to the right, a step together step. So it's gonna be step together step, and then we're gonna turn, and then we're gonna go to the left. So we're facing, so after we do the step together step, we're gonna turn out with our right shoulder. And then we're gonna do another step together step to the left. So again, and as we do step together step, we're gonna make like a little, I like to say a little sweeping motion with our hands. So it's gonna be step together step, step together step. And after we do that, we're gonna turn, do like a 180 turn back to the middle. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. So I'm just gonna do that part again. So it's gonna be step together, step, turn, step together, step. 1, 2, 3. The next part. So again, step together, step, step together, step. 1, 2, 3. And the next part is gonna go. So the second part is gonna be
Isabel,
Yes.
just listen. That's all. It's great. You're doing great. The only thing I would add is you said, okay, you're going to move to the right with your right foot and you're going to turn out through the right. But when you do that pivot turn, tell us what feet you're using, because what we're watching you do it front on. And so it's hard to figure it out, which is fine, but still tell us what feet we're going to use when you
Okay,
make the
so
pivot
then-
turn.
This is, you can still see my feet, okay?
Oh, yeah.
As we do the step together step, we're gonna pivot with our left foot. Well, actually, with your right foot, pivot out. And then you go to the left, step together, step. And then we're gonna do basically steps with your right. 1, 2, 3. And then the next part is going to be, let me go this way. Next part is going to be, it's going to be another step together step to the side. So step together step. I would say it's like a hop step together step. So 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to do a coupe over the coupe. Yeah, so a coupe to the right. And then you're gonna do the same to the left. So a step together, step, coupe. And after that coupe, you're gonna be doing a 360 turn to the right. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna clap. And then we're gonna turn again to the left. 1, 2, 3, clap. So let's combine those together. So we're gonna do step together, step, pivot, step together, step. 1, 2, 3. And then we go into the other part. So step together, step, cross over, step together, step, cross over, and then we do the turn and clap, turn and clap. And
Great. And that's part one of the dance?
that's part 1 of the dance.
Very nice. Okay, so you want to go ahead and put it on?
Yes.
Okay.
So let
So-
me.
So yeah, I'm not sharing. So you want to go to share, and then you want to pick the advanced tab, and then you want to click uh, uh, computer audio, and then share again. So you have to get what you're going to play up somewhere. Just
Yes.
okay.
So it's saying I need a request.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to allow it. There you go. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Let me do this. So then in advance.
And then pick computer audio and then the blue share button.
Okay. And I think Let me just make sure you can hear it real quick.
Come let us go up. Come let
Were you able to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So let me take a quick.
Yeah. Play here.
Thank you, Isabel's husband.
Come let us go up. Come let us go up to the mountain of the Lord. Who can ascend his holy hill? Who can approach?
All right, and that's part one of the dance.
So wonderful. That was great. Now, have you started to make your notations?
Yes, I have.
Good. Okay. So work on those. You can send them in if that would be great. That was wonderful. You know what? I love how the dance, went with the music. You partitioned the parts out very well. Your counts were great. For myself, I would just, include when you introduce it who wrote it, and maybe just say right off the bat it's in 4/4 time, and then make sure that you say what feet you're using. Now you can do that. You can do that and count at the same time. We're going to go to the right. I'm going to do a right turn with a clap. It's going to be 4 counts. We'll clap on the 4th count. I'm going to turn to my right. Right, left, right, clap. Or right, 2, 3, and then clap on the 4th count. Just be really explaining, because until you actually stood with your back in front of us, it was a little bit hard to figure out, what feet you were using. I mean, you could, but it would just be easier. Does anybody have a comment for Isabel? Go ahead, Estefania. Oh, go ahead.
That was so beautiful, Isabel, and it looked like so much fun. I wanted to get up and dance with you. I would say the only feedback is it would be helpful to make the movements a little bit bigger because of the virtual setting, it might be hard for people to see what you're doing because it looks far. I think in person you probably wouldn't have that problem because they're right there, but just keeping that in mind.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And you probably, we all have very limited, areas too, but you were right on that for sure. But it was very, very good. Go ahead, James. I know you have a comment. Can't hear you.
Yeah, thanks, Isabel. That was great. I really enjoyed seeing it. I thought that the instructions were pretty clear as far as the teaching of it. I feel like when it came to maybe the demonstration part, I would have just maybe seen it repeated twice, um, just for the repetition of it, because it seemed like it went really fast when it was the actual demonstration. But I thought it was really graceful and well rehearsed.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Most of us have had a little bit of dance and maybe some less than others, but it is important to keep going over, go over it a couple of times, on a video, not this. Okay, so we're recording this, okay? But say you were, on your video that you do when, at the final, like what Tamar did that we just saw. She kind of speeded through it, but the idea is you could keep replaying it, when you're learning from a video, of course. But in real life, in real time, you would have the people with you, and you'd probably say, how did you guys get that? Or you would know, you would see if they were getting it or not. But it was really, really nice. I love where you're going with it. And I think it's a great dance. And plus, it it was a beginning dance, but it was fun enough. It was fun to be challenging. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've been dancing for a long time and it's just so beginning, after a few minutes it could be really kind of, boring, but that was a really good choice of choreography on that. So nice work. I'm excited to see the rest of it. Anybody
Yeah.
else have a comment?
I'd like to say the choreography looked really fun to engage in, and that song is just amazing. So I look forward to seeing the rest. And I think it would be better, yes, to accentuate your movements because it's easier to follow somebody who's really enjoying themselves and making it big.
Yeah, I could just imagine, in a big dance floor,
Yeah.
just flying on those right together rights in your coupe,
Right.
of course, and sometimes we got it and sometimes we don't have it, but still, there were years, when Ralph and I were starting our ministry and making projects, and all we had, our dance studio was, a little tiny kitchen area. And I mean, it's probably half the size of this little area we have right here. So, you'd make do with what the Lord's given you and go for it, and you have vision to see what it could do. And I believe you do on this too, Isabel. So great job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yay. Okay. Summer, are you there? Okay. You
Yeah.
ready?
Yes, I think so. Let me see if I get the camera to. All right, now. Gonna have to tilt it down more. Oops. Okay. Is that good?
It's good. You can probably walk around your centerpiece. Just make a circle around your centerpiece.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, when you get to the front of your centerpiece, we lose your feet. So you either have to bring your centerpiece towards the back more. Yeah. Right there where you're standing, right where you are. That's as far. Now we can't see your feet. Now we can. Now we can. Now we can. Nope. Okay.
All right.
So when you get in front of your centerpiece, we can't see your feet.
Okay,
What's it?
so
So
whatever.
you move it back again. Yeah, move it back a little. There you go. A little bit more. There you go. That should be okay.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So I was thinking of teaching a waltz sequence to doing it to a song that was, I think, recorded by the Messianic Jewish Alliance of America called Coming Back to You, Ashuv Elecha, sung by Aaron and Cherniak. I probably said his last name wrong, but yeah. So that is we four timing, and you're gonna start going, I think, counterclockwise, and it's gonna be starting with your right foot, right together, right. What I'm doing with my hands, since I'm not holding hands, is I'm kind of just make a bit of a motion from each side with whichever foot I'm stepping. So that's a right together, right, and then stepping on your left and left together, left. You do them. So that's. So right together, right, and left together, left. And then turning your right shoulder toward the center of the circle. You're still on the line. You're still going counterclockwise. You're going to be walking backwards. So that becomes a right together, right, and then a left together, left. So putting those together. Right together, right. Left together, left. Turn right shoulder in, right together, right. And left together, left.
And then from here, I'm going to do a 3-point turn on the line, going over my right shoulder. So that becomes a 1, 2, 3, and then step into a coupe. Right coupe. So it's a coupe, and then a left coupe, and then a right coupe. So putting all of that together. Actually, let me just do that turn again. So that's a 1, 2, 3, right coupe, and left coupe, and right coupe. So putting all of that together, that becomes right together, right, and left together, left, and right together, right, and left together, left, and 3-point turn, coupe, and coupe, and coupe. With that timing, that becomes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
That was really nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was part one. That looked like it was the dance to a messianic, one of those interchangeables called "Oh Give Thanks," and it's the same steps, but it's a beautiful, beautiful combination. So you want to do it with the music first? Have you tried to? Have we got your music up there before?
Let me see if I can get my music up. I've been like looking up how to do it, and
Oh,
because
okay. Let me. Oh,
yeah, on the iPad, I am not
mm,
sure.
mm.
Okay, I got original sound.
It may work. It might not. We'll see.
It says, okay, I'm gonna try this and see if this works. Because I'm using an iPad, so I don't know if it's compatible or not.
Yeah, it might
Yeah.
not because what would happen on my end is it would say Summer's sharing her sound, at Summer's computer. So it might not work. Now, I can do the music for you.
I could.
We might
Sorry.
be, that's okay. You might be out of sync with the music, but that's okay because it plays immediately and then you hear it a little bit later, but that's okay. Did you have another suggestion?
Hold. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay. If you hit the share button of Zoom, okay, what do you see?
I see the panel. Oh, share? Start
If
share?
you
Is that
hit,
what you're talking about?
wait. If you hit on Zoom and you hit the share button, does it give you something that says screen and then something in advance? Does it say that at all?
Screen, photos, camera, iCloud Drive, website, whiteboard.
That's it. Okay. All right. So you
Yeah.
probably can't. You don't see anything that says share audio, do you? Share
I
computer
don't
audio?
know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and play that for you. And it may or may not, may or may not be in sync.
Okay.
But it's okay. But you'll hear it and you just do it. Okay. So hold on there and then we'll hold
All
on.
right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
my sound out. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me the name of it one more time. I know it's your own
Um,
Sherry Neck.
coming back to you.
Okay, hold on.
Yep.
הראה לי את הדרך לשוב אליך, גם אם קשה תהיה, לשוב להיות בגזרותיך, הדרך בסופה אחיה.
Sorry.
אז אשוב אתן לך את
Keeps cutting in and out. I'm sorry.
כל פינה שבליבי
Okay, we'll
את
pause that for a
נפשי, שם אתה לי בקיומי.
Hold on.
אז אשוב
Okay, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might
let
be
me
my
back.
connection too. The rain did ease up, but yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, it's interesting because I believe you were quote unquote out of sync only because you heard it like a couple beats later. Having said that, you were waltzing in time with it. You know what I'm saying? It might have been like, you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You might have started your 1, 2, 3 on the second 1, 2, 3. It just was a little bit delayed on that on our end, but it's a good set. I'm trying to think going forward so that you could do that. Have you ever recorded yourself on YouTube or anything like that?
I have not put myself on YouTube yet. I actually have
No.
a lot of videos that I just have not posted.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
trying. That's okay. You can make it private and all of that. I'm just trying to think so that
yeah.
we could see your dance
hmm
done, and so that you don't have a delayed action or your sound isn't going out. So that might be a way to go forward for you on that. Now,
hmm
having said that, does anybody have a comment for Summer on her instruction? Go ahead, Teresa.
I'm faster lifting this hand than finding the hand raise thing on there. Anyway, I thought your execution was excellent and how you taught it. But just more of experience, I want to make a suggestion.
hmm
When you're moving from going forward to going backwards, if you would step, so you can see my feet. So if you're going this direction and and then you have to go backwards, just have them still step and step, so that way they know they're still going right together, right? And then just pivot and have them practice that pivot.
Ooh,
Because
thank you for that. Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
through
yeah.
experience, that's where people go, do I turn left or right? So I'd have them so I'll walk with them, step together, step, right,
hmm
then left, then just step out with your right foot and then just stop. And they kind of look and it's like, okay, then pivot, because that's your first step to your right together, right, going backwards. And I just found with experience that when you add that little element as everybody's going backwards, they'll catch it a little bit quicker. That's the only thing I would add.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Thank you,
love hearing it.
Teresa.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to say something, Summer?
I said I love hearing like from other experienced leaders. So thank you for
Well,
that. Yeah, yeah.
you know what? You're a beautiful dancer. You have a lot of love when you speak. You can tell you enjoy, you want people to learn. I would just say, you did really well. I would just say, especially on your counting, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But I would give a little more direction. For instance, at what Teresa was saying, when you turn back to do it backwards, say what shoulder you're turning back. Which way
hmm
what shoulder do you turn back through? Which foot do you begin with? Do you begin with that right foot when you start waltzing backward? As well as when you taught your coupes, you said, are you going to do a right coupe and then you're going to do a left coupe, and you demonstrated. The thing about the coupes is you go to the right, but you start with your left foot.
Yeah.
Right. So you want to go over that same thing. When you go to the left, you start with your right foot on that coupe. So you want to, just want to say, because, to most anybody, if I'm going to do a Mayim to my right or a coupe to my right, my brain just goes, oh, I'm going to start with my right foot, and a coupe, just in the nature, especially if you have a beginning person, usually people step into the coupe, they cross, but then they move the other foot instead of picking that back foot up. So I would just give a little more instruction on that. I even do that, with advanced people. I just say, okay, we're going to coupe to the right, cross your left over to your right, just to give that extra little help step. But other than that, it's really good. And so what I would like you to do, I want to see if you can explore recording the dance. Now
Mhm.
we have to play the dance. So explore on this. I want you to continue with this dance. Okay. Go to the
Mhm.
part B. Okay. Or the second part. Okay. Or if not, just do the first part. But I want you to see if you could record yourself and then send the link to me, and then I could play it from here so we can see the dance with the dance. You can teach it to us again,
Okay.
and that way we can dance with you. The music will be in sync. We can do it and this and that. Now, if you need help in making a YouTube video, you do have a choice. And all the videos that I share here are unlisted. So it's only
Mhm.
who you have a choice of public, unlisted, and private. Private's a little tricky because it's unless every single person has that particular thing, but unlisted is good. Nobody will have that except you. And if you send me the link, then I can play it here. All of the videos and then it's up to you someday if you want to make them public. But
Mhm.
that for you right now, that would be helpful because I can tell not only is it a challenge, just playing the music, which is an impossibility right now, but also, when I'm playing the music, it's probably a little bit hard for you, whether it's a connection or whatever, to hear it. So anyway, so if you could do that, that would be really, really good. And if you need some extra help, young people are really good technology wise, but we'll help as much as possible. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a comment for Summer? Okay, good. All right. We're going to go. Teresa, I want you to teach your dance in 1 minute. I want to just do like a three slide, um, a little 3 slide PowerPoint, if that's okay, for week 5. We're in week 5. Wow. 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 Okay. Hang on there. Okay. Let me pull her up again.
If I have to teach in 1 minute, do I have to talk really fast? I'm just kidding.
You're so funny. No, um, you know, no, I had to compute that. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to pull my mic out no, I'm going to pull my camera out. So hold on. Okay. Hold on a minute. Let me go. All righty. That's not this one. Go. We did that last time. All right, so this is basically things to include while dancing, and I went over this today to see if I did all these things, and last night, and I think I did. I think I did. Maybe not in this order, but we did open up in prayer. Actually, James opened in prayer for us, and he hosted us. So I tried to see. We had a huge class last night. We've had different classes. Ralph and I have had different classes all week, but I've just tried to really get a grasping of the level that each person was at, to understand, who the students are. We had one on Friday of last week, and most of the people, there were probably, I don't know, 15 people there or 20, I'm not sure, but most of those people, and there were teens in there as well, they all had danced before. They were, and then there were two people that were really new. And so that's challenging too, because you want to give enough excitement to everybody. And I really taught I taught beginning dances, a couple of them first, and then just immediately went up in level and just addressed the people who were newer to see how they were doing. And they seemed to do really well. Even though they were beginning people, they had a sense of rhythm. They could understand the beat, even if the steps weren't there. And I just tried to encourage them, as well. We introduced the first dance and all the dances after, gave the title, gave a translation, talked about, tempo, direction, time signature, who the artist and the choreographer were, if it wasn't myself, and why we decided to teach it. All of these things, when you teach, are really important. Demonstrate the step and teach the step, and which you're all doing. You're demonstrating it and you're teaching it. Add counting and direction to your instruction. Yes, count. You can even combine them, right? 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. Use your right foot there. Give praise, correction, and modifications. If I could see somebody last night were turning to the right through your right shoulder. They were turning to the right, but through their left shoulder. So I tried to, sometimes what I'll do when it's a big group is, and people are clearly having a problem. Maybe there's two people that were having a really hard time, knowing which way to turn, if it's in and out. And so sometimes I'll just pull out of the circle and stand next to them and dance and just, gently kind of, motion my hand to which way, or if we're holding hands, kind of like, lead it off and kind of move them in that direction. I'll go over the steps and then build on what has been taught, just like both of you did today. As you were teaching your combination, you went over it and then you added the next step. And you just continue to keep going over it, and then bring the music in a little bit. It's almost like the music does a couple of things. Say you've taught 2 steps. So the music will do 2 things. First of all, after you have the steps, a lot of people will say when you put the music on, oh, okay, now I understand it more. That's number 1. But also, it's almost like a reward. It's like, okay, let's put it on with the music. And it's kind of like, because when people know the steps and then you add the music, it's like a treat. It's like, because then your whole body and your ears and everything understands. Okay. And then, if you can, add a little devotion, direct it towards whatever you want to, what aspect of the scripture, what aspect of the Lord, or what aspect. And if it calls for it right there, do prayer, have a prayer. And then if you can finish a whole dance, dance with the music, do the dance with the introspect of what it is you're dancing to. Why? It makes it rich and full, more than just, coming together and having fun dance, which is a byproduct usually anyways. It's fun to get together. It's wonderful. But when you add that extra spiritual component, it becomes elevated by all ends. And then we end the class with prayer and tend to people's prayer needs. That is very, very cool. We told you a little bit of, what happened in the dance. Sometimes you might be asked to teach a dance. I want to say this thing tomorrow night. In a way, it's impromptu. In a way, it is, because it's a scenario that doesn't happen all the time. You're getting together at somebody's place, and they've went to be with the Lord. So this whole aspect, it's going to have a new dimension to it. And so I'll let you know how this one went. But usually, sometimes, you might be somewhere and you're asked to teach a dance, and you can just go with it and do it when you feel comfortable. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is our question. What do you think is important when you teach the dance? Okay, some of those things when you teach, okay? Let me stop that share. Pull my camera back in. All right. So keeping that thought in mind, some of the things, since some of you have already taught a little bit, just think about something that you do think is important. But while we are thinking about that, Teresa, I'm going to give it to you and you can go ahead.
Do you want me to do the one that I sent you today on the paper, or just continue on with the other one that we were doing in class? My brain, I've had a lot going on this week.
So what do you feel most comfortable with?
The one I sent you.
Okay.
All right. So the one I sent Dr. Mindy, that had my notes on it, I've done the dance for a while, and it's, for me, I think it's really impactful. So there's two different parts to this song, but I'll start with part one. The song has been very impactful to me in a way that everything I do, I want to give it to God. I want to give it to my King. All my honor, all my respect to the King. And that's the name of the song, is To the King. The artist is Matthew Ward. And just because it was an assignment, it's on 4/4 count. But the thing that's really neat is what I've learned over the years is we've done this in Messianic congregations. We've done it for presentation. We've done it for Jewish congregations because we're still giving honor to the King, Hashem, and it doesn't mention Messiah, which kind of works too. But we actually dance with candles at night, and that's another element that looks really pretty. So anyway, so part one is a traverse to the right. So starting with facing the center, a traverse to the right is you're going to step to the right, left crosses over, right foot steps to the side, and it's heel. And then you go back to the left, you're going to do the same thing. So it's left, right behind, left, heel. Then it's a 4-point turn to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, touch, then to the left. 1, 2, 3, touch. And then it repeats with a traverse to the right. And the hands this time will go 1, 2, 3, heel, left, now to the left. So it's 1, 2, 3, heel. And then what I do a movement, what's called seeds. So I'll do it this way so you can see what I'm doing. And so if this is, there we go. If this is my center, my feet are staying stationary, but I'm leaning to the left and the right, but it starts to the left. And my hands are flat, like I'm passing out seeds. So I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the end of part one. So how the movements go for all part one. So it's 1, 2, 3, heel, 1, 2, 3, heel, 4-point turn to the right, 1, 2, 3, touch to the left, 1, 2, 3, touch. Now to the right, traverse, 1, 2, 3, heel, 1, 2, 3, heel, seats, and then seats. And that's the end of part one.
Nice. Do you want to do part two, or you want to just do part one with the music, or what would you like?
I'm open to do part two if you want. That's fine.
Well, why don't we do it with the music?
Okay.
So, okay,
Do 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 do
here we
do.
go. Okay.
Share
So,
screen.
huh? Advanced.
Advance.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Share, not screen, not screen. You
computer.
want to sh computer
Right.
audio.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Can you hear it?
No. Try it one more time. It didn't come up yet. So go to share and then hit advanced, and then there we go. We got it.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Back it up a little bit. And this for me, this is one of those songs that's I tell people at the beginning that it's really very hard for me to teach. The steps are easy, it's not complicated, but as soon as I hear the words, I just want to enter into worship and forget that everybody's there and just worship my King. Um, because this song, it just touches my heart. So here we go. Well, give me a minute or two. Can you see my feet okay? When I was up there before? Okay.
To the King who gave everything for me, whose body crucified high on Calvary's tree, whose redemptive blood makes way for me, I now give everything. To the King who came in the form of a child, a powerful God, and yet so mild, whose obedience shows the way for me, I humbly come to thee. To the King alone I will give my life. To the King I will sing both day and
Okay. So it was beautiful.
Thank you.
All I would do, and I know if we were all standing there in your living room, I would just say, is everybody getting that, or did you get that? Shall we go on?
Okay.
And you can go ahead and teach the next part, but ask your class there.
Okay. Did you all get that? Is it okay? Are we good? All right. So do you want me to go ahead and do part two?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Or wait?
looks like James has a question.
Okay. And I do really need the line on the floor. That's an excellent idea.
Uh, I thought that was really great, really well rehearsed, and it was very clear and easy to learn from. So I didn't mean to interrupt you dancing for the second part.
Well, no, you didn't. That was good.
Yeah, it's helps with your back to us. I mean, when you're on
Right.
video, it just helps. And even though it's like, you know, it's like a theatrical rule number one, don't turn your back, but
Yeah.
in this venue, it's good, and because that's really what we're watching. We're trying to get the steps. And so if
Right.
you speak it and you do it and you teach it, that's great. And you demonstrated too. So go ahead. I think it's easy enough to add that next part to it. And I know I can tell you're very affected by it, and that's not a bad thing. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's I'll say when you dance with candles and wine glasses, we do it at night. it makes a huge impact. Anyway, okay, enough talking. Part two. The part two, facing the center, is your hands are up, and you're stepping towards the center of the circle, so it's right, together right, left, together left. Stepping backwards is you're gonna step right, touch left, step left, touch right, step right, touch left, step left, touch right. The hands for that is going towards the center of the circle. You say right, together right, left, together left, and going backwards, it's right, touch, left, touch. Then bring it back up again, right, touch, left, touch. Then you're going to do 2 mayams to the left. So going towards the left, your right crosses in front, left to the side, right behind, left to the side. You're going to do that again. So it's right in front, left to the side, right behind, left to the side. That's your second mayam. Then with your right foot, you're going to do a cherkassia. So the cherkassia with your footwork is you're going to step in. It's a 4 count. So it's 1 count is step right in towards the center. Then you're going to put your weight on your left foot. Then you're going to take your right foot, rock back, and step left. So with adding the hands will go up, then down, and then you do 1 mayam to the left, and I call it with big arms, which means the footwork stays the same. So the footwork is right in front, left to the side, right behind, left to the side, but with big arms, the arms will go down in front with the right foot and cross. When you step right behind, the arms will go down, then together, and then bloom. So putting all of that together, part 2 would be right, together right, left, together left, right, touch, left, touch, right, touch, left, touch, 2 mayams to the left. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Cherkassia forward. There's 1, 2, and mayam to the left with big arms. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and bloom. So that's the end of part 2.
That was beautiful. Does anybody need any clarification from Teresa? Great. We'll go ahead and put it on. I want to just make a comment here. It's really beautiful because, they're not hard steps, but you have used your arms to express so much as well, which adds to and gives a level of more, I guess, more deepening of the spiritual aspect of it, which is really nice, Teresa. I think, as far as your teaching, you explained everything well, you counted well, you gave us the right footwork, and you made simple steps become, really have a life of their own according to the song choice that you use. So very nice. Everybody, you're welcome to dance it, if you feel like it, of course. So go ahead and just put it on and do it. How long is the song?
Put my glasses back on.
Okay.
2 minutes and 48 seconds.
Then just let it go for the whole thing because it's really beautiful. If that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Do you want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing that you probably would do, you would say, does everybody remember what the beginning is? And maybe just kind of state what that beginning is one more time. That you
All right,
have
so
that
walk
traverse.
through part 1, then part 2. Or
You
just part
could, you
one?
could do it. Yeah, you could do it. Let's just let's go through part one more time, just so we can refresh ourselves. Because if you have a new person for sure, they're
Right.
gonna, you know, have been working on part two, and it's like, what's part one?
Right, okay. So to go over part one again, it's facing the center. You're gonna do a traverse to the right with, start with the right foot, so 4-step count. So it's one behind. We remember how to teach.
Teresa, what I would do is I would just do it right up to tempo. Let's just go through it one time. Just do it. You know, just say, okay, we're going to start with it. Remember, we do this.
So
Yeah,
the
don't even,
traverse
yeah.
right, so
Uh-huh.
it's 1, 2, 3, heel, 2, 2, 3, a right turn. I do a lot of hand motions, gesturing left and right. So it's a right turn. So it's 1, 2, 3, touch, left turn, 1, 2, 3, touch, traverse to the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, heel, 2, 2, 3, heel, and seeds twice. And that's part one. So let's go ahead and do both of them together. And I'm my own audio engineer as well. If anybody needs that job, let me know.
To the King who gave everything for me, whose body crucified high on Calvary's tree, whose redemptive blood makes way for me. I now give everything.
Part one again, traverse to the right.
To the King who came in the form of a child,
right turn,
a powerful God,
left turn,
and yet so mild,
right,
whose obedience shows the way for me. I humbly come to thee.
Part two, right to the right.
To the King alone I will give my life. To the King I will sing both day and night. To the Lamb of God who has paid the price. To the King alone
I left with big arms.
I will give my life.
Part one again.
To the King, the one true royalty.
Right turn.
Though King, he has befriended me.
First right.
But greater still, he lives in me. I give him everything. To the King alone I will give my life. To the King I will sing both day and night. To the Lamb of God who has paid the price. To the King alone I
what I didn't put in there is you just bring them down and bow. Like you're putting your life on the altar for him.
Very nice. That little last step of part two that you did the second time through, it was like, I don't know if it was like a little curtsy or a little bow
Yeah, it's a
was
bow.
that was very nice. So does anybody have any comments for Teresa?
I thought the choreography was wonderful and it was fitting and appropriate and just perfect. And it matched the song and the words. And great job, Teresa.
Thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, I'll also agree. It was so beautiful, and I really felt when you did it that the music, like Ellie just said, the music and the dance, like they accentuate each other. So the music becomes like your dance like gives this whole other lifting to the music, and I think everyone's dancing today is like showing like one of the other dances too was fitting so well with the music, all of them. And so when we're able to get to that point where we can like Dr. Mindy's teaching us to understand the music, and then when we can bring the pieces together in the beats and rhythms and how it comes together. And I really felt that so beautifully in your dance. And of course, the arm expression was just, I wrote in my comment, it had this heavenly, when you bring it all together, I really felt it was like, God's responding, like a connecting between heaven and earth, which is also a beautiful thing that you have with your arm expression, that God gave you that gift of your arm expression. So praise God. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can imagine just, listening to the music, but when you see it worshipped too, it just brings that whole level. And that was really beautiful. What you also did, which your leadership, your dance leading was out there. You were, helping the other dancers to where to go, what's next, what's this, which is good. And that's just a natural quality that you've acquired over time, and it's wonderful. And you do that. And the thing is that I think most of us are on a level that if Teresa said, listen, we're going to just worship together. You're doing an outreach. Let's say you're at the park in your, we all came in our, park clothes, and you're wearing park clothes. This is impromptu. You throw the boombox down or whatever we're using these days to play music, and you turned it on. Even if we didn't know the steps, we would completely be able to follow you. Now, Teresa might say, listen, somebody who could get across from her, who doesn't have a problem, mirroring somebody in the dance, she might say, okay, so and so, go stand across from me, and you fill the circle in. And everybody, even if we didn't know the dance, by your leading, would be able to follow you. Most people, if you have had absolutely no experience and you don't know what a Mayim is, and you don't know what, the klezmer or the traverse, or, what the kibbutz, that's all the same thing at this point, step is, yes, they would have a little bit of an issue. But for everyone else, your leading was so that, we'd be able to do that, which is good. It's a good quality. And so very, very wonderful. So continue on and go on to the next thing. Okay. We have some more time. So how about Katie? Do you feel like doing your dance? And I would say from now on, try to write your steps out. Let's have some notations going forward. Katie did, Teresa did, James did, Summer did, so Joanne did. So do that with your work. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and we'll go on. Does anybody else want to say anything to Teresa? It was very beautiful. So while you get ready, Katie, I'm going to have like a call tomorrow. There's a big conference coming up, and so one of my natural abilities, it's one of the things that I can do, is to do Messianic dance, if I don't know what the song list is and the artist is going to play, I can immediately tell what the time meter is and start leading spontaneous Messianic dance. It's challenging to do for most people. I know how to do it and I do it. That's, I know, one of those things that I know how to do. When you know how to do something, sometimes when you do it, it looks easy. And if it's hard to do, those of you know. And for years I was stressed, and that came from artists who didn't want to give their list. They would just play. They would just play, and you're sort of stuck. It's like, what are you going to do? Just not do it? Okay. I mean, which is valid. It's valid. You don't want to, be up there, not knowing what to do, not knowing, but it was years and years and years, so that if an artist doesn't want to give their list, that's fine. We'll just go with the flow. I don't mind doing that. And so, but I've been in many, many, many circles where I'm not necessarily in charge. And, at times, whoever's in charge, they'll at the moment say, could you just do this? Because it's so stressful, you don't know what to do. And so this leader of this dance at this conference wants to have a class on leading, as they said, leading on the fly, and it's hard to do, it's hard to do. I think the best things that I would say is practice listening to lots and lots of music and figure out what the time signature is. That's number one. Then number two, I don't know if anybody has seen like improv before, or improv comedians, or improvisational people, when they're doing a skit, or do you know what I'm talking about? Like an improv group. Okay. Improv group, it's a form of entertainment. And a lot of times it's a type of theater. You go and people will call things out from the audience. They'll say, okay, give me a scenario, and they'll give a scenario, and boom, the actors or the players can come up with this scene immediately on the fly, and it's amazing. And sometimes it's, whatever they're trying to achieve, it's just you're enthralled how they can do that. Or there's all kinds of things with improv. But I want to tell you something. People who do improv have things in their bag that they have worked on for hours and hours and hours. So that if you called out a scenario, they have in their bag something that would work for that. So do you know what I'm saying? Like, and they make it look fresh, and they make it look like it was no job at all. They just brought it up, and it was fresh and new. Well, it's the same thing when you lead on the fly, okay, for better words, or spontaneous leading. You want to have um, choreographies in your bag that at a moment's notice you can pull out and do, and because what is not fun and what is hard is when somebody is going to try to lead on the fly, the music's starting, and they're standing there going, and you have 100 people standing there and they're going, because they're trying to figure out. And I have been in those circles, and it's extremely uncomfortable to watch. It's extremely uncomfortable to watch everybody else going, what's happening? And so this is you might not ever have this situation, but if you are a leader of live worship, you may. And that's what you do. You learn how to read time signatures, to hear them, to immediately assess them, and go. And if you use one of those things that you have in your bag and it doesn't work, then you're going to just transition it into something that does seamlessly. That's what is the hours of practice that nobody knows, you just know. Okay. So that's a call that's exactly it. You know what, Estefania, that is exactly right. So, the one artist who was a musical artist was Jonathan Sattel. Jonathan Sattel, many of you may or may not know him, but he passed away a few years ago, but he was like Paul Wilbur in that kind of genre, or the newer ones like Joshua Aaron in that, or even I want to say go as far as to say, McKedum or Solu. Back then, there wasn't a McKedum and Solu. There were like, Paul Wilbur and Jonathan Sattel and blah, 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 blah. But Jonathan was extremely, he just would do whatever he wanted when he wanted. And if you did get a song list, he may or may not do it anyways. And then he expressed, if a dance leader couldn't deal with it and they went and sat down, that was, perhaps the wrong thing to do, so I'm just saying these are good things to get in your bag to understand. And later on we'll go ahead and go over things like that and we'll learn how to listen to music and figure out what the time signature is and what you would do. Okay. All right, Summer, go ahead, you have a question.
So it's what you were saying about Jonathan made me laugh because it was about back in like 2017 when he was visiting my old congregation up in Minnesota, and they informed me at the last minute that the group that I usually we'd have like a rotational kind of thing going on for people where circles would be in the front or in the back and stuff like that. But at the last minute they were like, by the way, you're in the front this week, and I was like, oh, okay. We did it. It went fine. But then he had an improv moment where he had a lot of fun making us dance. So that was just, you just reminded me of that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan would like put on like 15-minute songs, and that were fast, that were
Yeah.
just crazy. And he's having a great time. Or this is one thing he did. Now we're all messianic dancers, in the messianic circles, okay? It back then you wouldn't ever see a flag. Usually you wouldn't ever see, for some reason, a tambourine. And it just, it was just like circle, lesson was a presentation, but during, congregational worship was just dancers. Okay. But he would stop and he'd call out a person and he'd say, I want you to dance to this. And it would be,
He would bring people up on stage.
yeah, he would come. I remember, oh gosh, I remember watching it and watching the person get called. And you have a choice. You could say no, which
Yeah.
nobody did. They would just kind of go and be praying all the way, because and somebody who is
Love your voice.
knows messianic dance, who's called to do a one person interpretive presentation. That's another thing too. So anyways, I loved him. I miss him dearly. And but thank you for sharing that, Summer. Okay, Katie, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so the dance I'm going to do is one Dr. Mindy's that she did the choreography to, and that is Shabbat Shabbat by Rabbi, hold on, I've got it up here. Rabbi Howard Tokman. And Sue Samuel is the one who sang it. So this one's kind of dear to my heart because it is actually the very first Messianic dance I ever learned at our dance camp in June 26th of 2020. So it was a while ago. So I believe you guys can see me. Is this good? Okay. So it's in 3/4 time. And it's a waltz. So the first thing is is our arms. They're going to be like our candlesticks. So the first thing is we're going to go right together, right, and then left together, left. And that looks like, does that feel good? Right together, right, left together, left. And that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then from here, we are going to do a waltz in. So it's right, 2, 3, back, 2, 3. So we're going to go right together, right, left together, left, waltz, right, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. In our hands, we're going to be doing these little circle things like we're lighting the candles. So let's do that again. Right, 2, 3, left, 2, 3, waltz in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to turn sideways. We're going to bend our knees and our hands are going to come up. And then we're going to do a bow. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then we will repeat that a second time. So, do you want me to do it with music now?
Just ask if anybody has any questions or.
Okay. Turning you guys up. So, does anyone have any questions? Anything you want me to go over again? I don't see everyone. Are we good? Okay. So let me try to share the music. No.
So go to share and then advanced computer audio and then the blue share button. You have, what do you have?
I brought up share.
Okay.
Then
do you see the
advanced.
tab advanced? Do you
And
see
then
something
computer
that says,
audio.
yep. And then is there a little button that says share again, like blue?
Yeah. And I've hit it.
I see she's sharing on my screen, Kate's
Let's see.
computer sound.
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Let's dance so and just enjoy the music right now.
Shabbat, Shabbat, may your holiness fill this Shabbat. Draw us near to your throne, let Messiah be shown. May your holiness fill this Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat.
Katie, that was beautiful. I want you to finish that next week. Okay. I want you to
Okay.
finish the dance. Okay.
Yes.
I thought your instruction was right on. You did really great. And I was at first I was going to go, okay, because it is in 3/4 time. But normally I taught it like slow, quick, slow, but it worked. It totally, it totally worked. I was sitting there to see if it worked, and it was absolutely correct. So you did very, very well. That it's a very simple part. So I want you to add the next part too, but it was really very nice. And we could see you, it was right from the back. So I don't even have any comments. I think you did a great job on that. Anybody else have a comment for Katie?
A great job, Katie. And
Thank you,
so
Joanne.
so loving and clear. And I look forward to the whole dance. And also, it's nostalgic for me because when I took the first, I'm on my second time on the class. And when I took it the first time, this was the first song I did. And it just was such a blessing to study the song, to go through the song. So God bless you as you continue through it and bring it forth every Shabbat and teach other people this dance.
Yes.
Very
Thank you,
good.
Joanne.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. You have like a very, warm demeanor, and it's welcoming, and it's nice. And you gave a little bit of I gave why it's important to you, and that brings people in as well. And I think I think just adding that personal component, and I'm sure after the dance, after you complete the dance, you'll talk a little bit about Shabbat or what that means and so on and so forth, or some scripture or whatever. But I think you did a great job. So thank you so much. I'll look forward to seeing the second part of it. So next week, everybody come prepared. Okay. Summer, see what you can do regarding getting the dance, like recording it. Okay. See if you are able to do that, because I think, you still do your teaching live. That's okay. But it's hard to, because we want to do it with you. So if we can play it, then we can do it with you too. Okay. Okay, good. And everybody else, please write your notations out. Okay, I want you to just practice that, because at least for the final one, for sure, that's required too. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you. We do have an assignment, or super duper fun assignment for next week. Hold on one second. Let me just see if I can pull this together. Okay, let me just pull this up here. Okay, I just want to pull up okay. Actually, for 1 second, I want to take 1 minute and ask you, what do you think is important while teaching dance, Messianic dance? Anybody have something that when they teach, what is important to you? Or when you are in a class, what do you need? Go ahead, Summer.
I think it's important to, I mean, as you were saying, like in the slides, that you know who you're teaching, you know who you're pouring into, and you're also able to inspire them and get them to feel comfortable in doing what you're doing. Lots of encouragement and reassurance, and just, you really want to, I guess, put the focus on the fact that it's about the Father and it's about what we're doing together for the Father.
Teresa.
I think for me, I try to make everybody feel seen, heard, and respected. And I want people to join in no matter what their skill level. And it's important. I try to get people to not try, let me see. I encourage people to learn to do the steps as much as they can, but to enter into the actual worship aspect, because even if we don't do the steps correctly, when we worship our King together as a community, then they start understanding what we're doing and why, and it gives it a little bit deeper understanding. And then then they start perceiving really what we're teaching.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Ellie.
I think it's very important for the leader to be coming prepared and thinking about who they're teaching rather than themselves, because I think if they have a lot of self-consciousness, it's just not the right focus. And it's nice to see accentuated movements and little hand signals that show people what comes next. That's super helpful.
Great. Thank you very much. Preparedness is great. And sometimes people say, well, I hardly know any dances. Well, whatever you're going to teach, if you know it really well, because then you know it and you can convey it. So that is really a great thing. How about Estefania?
I think listening to the song and demonstrated before breaking down the steps is helpful. So people can have an initial idea of what it looks like, and they can kind of have a vision, or sort of like a goal in mind. And then also, oh, sorry, my dogs. And then also, it gives them an idea of what the music and the tempo will be like. Before you break it down, I think that'll be helpful.
Yeah, that's really good. The only thing, I'll take you, James, in 1 second. The only thing is sometimes, let's say Ralph and I sometimes will teach, okay? Sometimes you can demonstrate a dance, okay? And there are people who maybe are new to dance and they freak out because they're seeing the whole dance and in their minds, they cannot do it. So if you do that, you have to say, you are going to, just really encourage them so much. A lot of times I will back off from demonstrating, maybe until we get to the final part or there's always, it seems like there's a part where we're going to demonstrate it. And so I would just want to encourage them. It's much easier than it looks. You already got this far, blah blah blah. So yeah, that is great. James, go ahead.
So yeah, I've been doing this a long time, but I'm not usually a dance leader. I'm just learning that I should be doing that. But what I have been doing for nearly all that time, that's very regular for me, is getting other men interested in joining in the dance instead of just standing around watching. And a lot of time, then what I'll do is I'll show them a few of the basic moves, but I'll also explain to them that it is easy to follow along. Um, as long as you're paying attention, a lot of the entire dances can be picked up if you're focused and paying attention, with it a little bit of routine, and just some simple memorization, and that it's not necessarily, well, it's not intended to be only one gender dancing. Everybody should be dancing and praising together, and kind of overcome that stigma.
Yeah, thank you. That's really good. And I think you're an encourager of the men, which is great. And there was one man there, and I can't remember his name, but he was the older man with the white hair. And he said that he was encouraged to dance. Maybe you did that. I don't know, but he said he watched it and he didn't think he could. And before, that's why he came. He loves to dance now. So I thought, well, that's really great. Somebody encouraged him that he should do it and that he could do it and he should do it. So that was really great.
I think his
One
name is
thing,
Derek.
that's right.
Yeah.
Did you encourage him? Were you one of the,
I've never met him before. I wanted to get his number, but he's one of the guys that left after the break. So I'll
Okay.
figure out, I'll track him down. I know
Yeah,
pretty
there
much
you
everyone that
go.
was there, so it'll be easy.
Great. Great. Okay. One thing, teaching kids versus teaching older. You can't teach a bunch of kids the same way as you teach a room full of adults. So, if you've done that before, you have to, speak to them, like a kid in a way, not treat them like a baby child unless you have to, but you know what I'm saying? You want to probably dances that you pick, or, how you convey it and give them encouragement. And there's a kind of a balance between, allowing them to be kids, how kids act, and they can, sway around and be, unruly as kids are, and then having them pay attention, so that's challenging, but you know your audience. It goes back to, who are your students. Same thing. Say you have a bunch of, teens, same thing, how are you going to work with the teens, Bend, when we were there were several teens, and they were they're going to have bat mitzvahs. They had bar mitzvahs. And so, it just felt and they were great dancers, to give them an opportunity to show their dances that they did for that. And they love that, they just had the best time, because again, going back, they felt seen. They felt like, they were supposed to be there, and they had, something to offer, and they did. It was very exciting. Okay. So I want to talk to you about your homework. So I'm going to now, both Joanne and Teresa did a version of it. I changed it because we were doing this again. Okay. So I'm going to send an article for you to read. It's a peer-reviewed article. It's a study, but it's an ethnological study. So it's a study of a group. Okay. And this writer, this researcher, studied this group of dancers. Okay. And maybe I forgot, it says how long. It's a period of months. And wrote about who they were and what they did and their reasons for doing it. And it's a very interesting article. Not messianic dancer. It's about a dancing group. Definitely not messianic dance. Okay. And what we did before is we wrote on it. We found 3 points that we felt strongly about, whatever they were. There's no wrong. And we gave our 3 paragraphs about this thing, and this thing, whatever that was. But now we're going to change it. So you're going to read this article and get whatever you get out of it. Okay. And then I want you to imagine this ethnographer, this researcher is researching you. What would he say? You're going to write about it in third person. Okay. You're going to write about it like, I had the opportunity of studying Teresa Bates and her idea of worship dance. And she does, this. So you're going to write about yourself outside of yourself, as if somebody is studying your dance culture, why you dance, what is important. I want you to think of 3 areas that you can talk about in your dance. And I want you to read the article so you can get an idea of some of the things that this researcher found while studying this group of dancers. Okay, I'll send the directions, the article, and I wrote like a itty bitty short sample. Okay, and you might have like, it can be however, but 1 page. Any questions on that? Okay, it should be really good. I did this the last session for the first time, and everybody really felt it was really cathartic because they never talked about themselves outside of themselves. Okay, so it allows you to explore a little bit deeper on that. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so we'll have our articles, we'll have our dance parts, at least 2 parts now. Okay, have your music ready, write your notations if you haven't. If you're adding on to it, go ahead and do that. We'll have Estefania go first. Well, I want Katie to finish her dance. Okay, and Estefania, you'll go. And what is your question?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
For the notations, do you want us, since we already submitted part 1, do you want us to continue that sequence or do a different part 1 and then a part 2?
Whatever you'd like.
Okay.
It's up to you. If you want to continue that dance and go on, just write the whole thing down. Okay? It's fine. It's really, you're just practicing your teaching, you're practicing your leading, you're practicing your speaking out, your combinations, your timing, and have your music as well. Okay? maybe why for everybody, and I think you're doing that, why the song, if you haven't, why, the song is important to you. Okay? Is that good? Any other questions?
Should we
Yeah.
send that to you, Dr. Mindy, also, like if
You can, it's not, I think you can send me your finished notes when you do your dance. When you do it, you can just
finally
send it
when we
right
do
over.
finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to add any more pressure on, you guys. But that was really beautiful. Okay. Next week, James, you'll be our prayer person. That's all right. Okay. And so, Isabel, you can go ahead and close us. And if you have any prayer requests for Isabel.
Take it away from you.
Okay. Okay, I'll start praying then. All right. Thank you, Abba, for this night that you have given us. With everything that we have learned, let it be stuck in our brains and just give us all the strength and the courage to keep presenting our dances and just keep letting us learn and I guess encourage everybody to just have that confidence. I just pray that everyone has a good night, a restful night. Watch over all of us and just give us peace. In Yeshua's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. You all did so great. It was so nice seeing each of you, and just have a really, really, really blessed week. And if you're welcome to post anything, I've been posting little pictures up on our WhatsApp because I
Yeah, it
think
looked
it's
like you had
really
a
cool.
great time at the dance class.
Oh yeah, they've been really amazing. And tomorrow I'll take a picture. She the leader's wife, the rabbi's wife, she said, please take video. So I don't know if she's going to be there, but she opened up her home to do it. So thanks for your prayers, because we want to be a comfort and a sweet fragrance there. So anyways, bless you, and we'll see you next week. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Bye.
Thank you all. Have a great week. Thank you, Mindy.
Bless you. Bless you, Ellie. Take care, everyone.